Hello, welcome back to GMV Size channel. I wanted to talk about some things about alts. As you can see, we'll have Delia presenting this video. So whenever you're trying to, let's say you're not equipped with budget, and I know some players or the community hasn't been open about it because they, their minds are focused on grinding. So when you don't have enough money to purchase anything or to gear up your main character, you can always do the gear share option. So you have a main character, but you upgrade it to the new sets of accessories or items for that character, and you don't have enough money or budget to gear another character, like a secondary character or a third character, just to like farm like the raids it can minimally do. All you really do is transfer those items to that character. So here on my panel, I've transferred from my Silas old rings I don't longer use anymore. And as much as they may not be ideal for the you're not gonna really throw them out right away. Like, you just need them for temporarily. So the smartest way is to, instead of keeping those items in your storage component in your main character, transfer them over to a character you believe you can handle throughout the raids, or at least the minimum raids that can help you grind, because 110 raids still help you get superior elixirs or other items that may appear minimum, but they're actually, they impact the rest of your grind. And try to just, get the minimal 15 on your Orna, because the game gives it to you once you reach a level cap for them, and or follow the guild, the guide of the game, just so like you can ease the tension if you're planning to grind your characters. It just makes it easier. I know some players don't really say that, don't really record it, because they're not thinking about that. They're thinking about, how can I get another character to farm, the raids I need to. That way I can, build up my character. Sometimes we're not in a good position in life, and we just don't have the means to get where we need to be. Also, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's for those that are just watching this video. It's rare for me to, from my side, it's rare for me to choose a character that I really like, that I think, personally I could also try to, I wouldn't say main, but actually can play, use her as a farm tool. But you gotta pick one that really, really, catches your attention, catches the way you play. Like for me, I play with Silas. Silas is very mid-range, but because I discovered a way to do, a unique way of fighting with him, while others, fight him kind of like basic and average, why not experiment? Maybe you'll like a character, a secondary character that tests your different limits, because we all have our little, we all think we can, play all the characters, but there's always that one character that catches your eye, and like you can, like some players that don't know you might think, oh, you can only play mid-range character. Like, no, I can play block, I can play counter. It's just not as excessive as, one would main those characters. But yeah, I just wanted to make a video about this. You will see my Delia every now and then. My guild likes to farm as well. I know I've seen other guilds farm as well. It just takes time for me. I'm not really one to just jump into start gearing up. I have to really like the character. So I find Dealey very special. I find that she is able to support the team whenever I raid or whenever I go into normal boats. I mostly host normal boat to my guild members because, you know, as a guild master, you want to be there for your guild, not just to show off. So, one of the other good tips about I would say would be for me is that if my main class, my main Silas is capped on all the raids, mostly the bigger raids, but there's a guild member that cannot get them in time, it's always good to have a backup, like a backup character. At the end of the day, you help a player out and you help yourself out. Because see, I don't want to, you know, brag, but here's my guild storage. I'm not, you know, recording this to be, oh, join my guild so you can get all this. No, this is the storage. This is what we currently have. These are access mostly for seniors and admins. And so all of these items are kept, you know, secure. I will still keep my recruitment strict because I have members here that take their time getting to know new players. And so because of the economy right now, we don't have a lot of player base. So if there's a player that wants to come into Vibe, I used to always make requirements. I make them strict because I really want committed players coming into my guild. But you just really have to prove that you're willing to be in my guild. I don't like, to the exception of the cards. So like very few guilds, but I do want someone that is willing to main their character, or you bring all of your alts into my guild. But basically what I'm trying to show you is that, okay, in terms of alts, let's say I'm not really planning to main her as a second main, or like maybe like a switch her over from Silas, but more like provide support as a guild master, and I get some drops, I will donate them here because I really want my guild members strong. So these may appear useless until you get a coupon and then try it, because adamant is still one of the good scrolls to use. And so, you know, soul was once orange and then they changed to purple because it's no longer the prime focus of the game's mechanics. And so, you know, these are still pretty useful if you are really on a budget. And, you know, I'm a game master that's not against any type of grind. Like if you want to grind and gacha, by all means, you are supporting literally the game. I know there's some players out there that think that this game is just farm to base. It's only farm to base if you have a guild that supports the items that you need, which then afterwards when you raid and you get a nice drop, then you can sell it. Let's say, for example, I get a essence or something. Like I get this thing right here. I get this. This is worth at least 13 mil or 12 mil. It depends on how much people buy it off. So let's say you buy like a quarter of this and no one has really gotten it after, you know, it was bought off the marketplace for like a day or two, or maybe like 3 days, then the price will increase for that value. Because what this thing does is that it lets you craft the other ones together. So you need this with the third one, and then it creates the other one so that you could max out. Let's take a look at the player here. So he has, so the one with mysterious, that it says mysterious, tries to max out, let's see, it tries to max out the destruction number 2 where it says 2025 on there, and then the other one tries to max out the armor. Okay. I am aware that some people don't like my guild. I just want to say that I'm sorry that you feel that way. I'm sorry that I've made some claims, but since you don't know my history with my guild, I mean, I don't really expect you to understand. But all I really care about is that this game runs as it should, that it brings more players, because this game deserves the recognition it deserves. And, well, enjoy yourselves. Anyways, this is GME Sai. I should change my username, but I really don't want to. I'm kind of lazy to do that. But yeah, these are my guides and tips on how to utilize alternative characters if no one has thought about it, or finding other types of videos to do that. Here's one of them. Creativity is always vast and open, so that will be all for this video. And keep vindinging. Keep trying to get this game more popular, because North America has a very small number, so it's not easy to get those numbers. Okay? We'll see you around. Bye! Oh, I almost forgot. What was I gonna say? Your AP. You're gonna need AP to still enhance one more time the Orna gear. Since they changed the requirements, like before it was like enhancements all the time. Now you have to enhance all these pieces to 15 once, and then you have to get, well, my recommendation is to get an extraction rune if you're planning to keep the scrolls that are currently on that weapon, and or if you try to max out the destruction, which used to be attack surplus, and then you're gonna have to, when you get to the, what's this thing called, the Uaithne, I'm closing the chat out because it's distracting, and or because I have some members that don't like being recorded on their chat. I'll blur that out when I put the video together now. So, where is it? So we're gonna put sword. Oh my god. Stop doing that. Okay, not Chaos sword. Bastard sword. Okay, so you're gonna need this. You can buy it, or you can farm it and buy from the marketplace. Buy it from the supply depot. You're gonna need all those items. and it's gonna become a white grade weapon. And then from there, you're going to need a stone. You're going to need this stone. You're going to need one of these, and you're going to need a bunch of these per upgrade until you reach the 125 one. I think some people didn't explain thoroughly about expertise. I was so freaking confused how to do all of that. But thanks to my friend, my dear friend Han. Hi Han! You're viewing this video. He explained it to me that so nobody gets confused. So when you go to the cat, the cat's gonna have that little thing. It's gonna cause confusion, but the first thing you will do is, when it comes to your expertise, you need to check which character has the original talent. For example, my skills says here that Delia, my alt here, the main one, she has the expertise of tailoring. And there's the upper part where everyone gets confused. So you're gonna need like maybe 4 alts together. Well, not 4, pardon me that. You're gonna need at least, if you're planning to craft 125 and 120 items from either accessories, armor, or simply vanity items or tailoring items. You go to the cat, but the cat's gonna want you to have exactly 399 proficiency of professional. Once you do that, you go here, you go to the warm welcome, and you buy where is it? You don't really buy, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Once you have that, he's going to ask you high expertise artisan. I should have clarified that either. It's going to ask you, okay, have you chosen a high expertise to pursue? So you select tailoring. And he's going to tell me that you don't have high tailoring, which means you have to continuously level up the tailoring to 99. And once you do that, he's going to give you an assignment that says you need to collect the artisan stones. So one of the good core things that now this game has officially updated is that you can now have artisan on 2 or 3 of your characters. But you have to farm them, because he's going to ask you to farm 120 raids. So what I did normally when I got to this point is that if I don't want to go on a train with people, like they just don't like me, or that I'm just freaking lazy and I don't feel like doing that stuff, but you know you need it. That's why giving her like just a minimum, and then all you do is spam. You can spam this one, or you can just spam the very first one, literally. Where is it? Yeah, this guy. He's pretty fun. Oh, no, I'm kidding. He's violent, but even if you die multiple times, like as long as you have Goddess Grace, you just need to do him 5 times. Whichever way you want. It doesn't matter. You don't have to like suffer like I have, but like I'm a very kind of sometimes impatient, sometimes it depends if my guild members already need another one or whatever, but once you do, then you'll have tailoring. And then your tailoring will be shared. But when it comes to stalls, here, I'm gonna show you. Let's say somebody really needs your stuff. You can do that once, like I said, once you have artisan, your dealer is the only one that can bring a stall to players. So see, for example, this one, she has armor. You right click her on her character, and it shows you that she has this for you. So armor can do some pretty neat outfits depending on what you want to get, and also to upgrade your stuff right here. Since I'm a guild master, I'm making sure that I have everything so that I don't, you don't suffer having to ask around people. Some people are like super busy and don't want to deal with it, or they're just AFK, and then they, nobody always has that time. But yeah, that's this is a part 2 of the video, and thank you for watching. I hope this guide has helped you get ahead of what you need to do, because I know, some people just are not nice for some reason. Like, when you ask them a general question, how to get help, they think it's a joke, and some people are really shallow for some reason. But yeah, this is GNV Spirit Ren, a Guild Master of Ike. Thank you for watching.